tirinyamba ngambo zawe zotwara ejo tisinkora otangambire birungi byawe nyine byange otangambire bizibu byawe nyine byange bebe otangambira otangambira bebe otangambira 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 makagawe nagange otangambira abana bawe nabange mabyo otangambira otangambira sayo otangambira otangambira gambo byawe byogambe byotirinyamba ngambo zawe zotware zotisinkora gambo byawe byogambe byotirinyamba ngambo zawe zotware zotisinkora ati otangambira obukuru bwawe otangambira obwega bwawe otangambira sente zawe otangambira ebirungi byawe otangambira abana bawe otangambira okusoma kwawe otangambira ebirimwa byawe otangambira onanana I don't want to know nikura takwenda nakubimanya I don't want to know oh no 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 kura takwenda nakubimanya ebigambo byawe mbitwaye oh no 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 gambo byawe byogambe byotirinyamba ngambo zawe zotware zotisinkora gambo byawe byogambe byotirinyamba ngambo zawe zotware zotisinkora byama byawe tikubiha sita zawe ezo sente zawe tungo ryawe bana bawe tikubiha abayambeiwe sente zawe oh no 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 bana bawe tikubiha abayambeiwe ezo sente zawe tungo ryawe
ukagenda otandage ngakambirwa bugambirwa baramworole ntakurole ntakurage wegarukanganamu nokuganyirangana awakiwa chwire motyo Tali mulingo kunti esienu mzibu takimanye ukavoina esitazo mutima kwawe otangambire nobuyakulemu kabiurani ukagendera kiwe nabazaire nyakubaire tabagambire kaba yange ekyo nkakikiriza yongo muntu mayaka chance akokumalira bagamba magezi muro bakwihandi tibalibona bampaka kukutombe Fabia.
Welcome to Western Connect. It's your boy as well. As usual, Swabri Kisk, and today is a very special day of my life. First of all, I've been craving for this interview, I think, for all the life I've lived. And then besides that, it's always a pleasure hosting people that you grew up listening to. Abakusinga abamunosanga your mom and maybe your dad akazinira mami wawe akazina kono muntu nuko yamfuna to get to them. And then besides that, we grew up listening to these people's music. I like this song, but I used to hate it so much. Because when that song used to be played at VOT, oh, you're sleepy or you're not. So we grew up to such an environment, but it was for all the best of our lives or what we are now. And then besides, this person that I'm having today is a legend. I don't know how you term legends, but to me he is a legend because he's these kind of people that people thought we couldn't make it, but they made it. And then besides that, they used to do music for passion and talent, just to pour their hearts out there. But then ebindi byeziraho booking zi money fame byejanka bija tibirinka ebyabati bano babantu bakozere music taroho social media influence beitu ya crossingaga nationally. Bano babantu I think babanze kora band eyokubanza mu Western Uganda or anywhere up country ebaitaga Cards Band. I think ni mugijuka beito boraboli mukozi muno ninkimanya okayimukiraho akazina akabakwita ukire inye bana mwibuke. And I believe you're rich now, and maybe you should be doing a favor to yourself by giving these people money because they contributed to your success with their songs. They gave us music, they fed our souls, bakatufunira abagonzebwa abantu abandi tukazarwa through their music and all that. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored to introduce to you the legend, the very biggest man, Akik Junior.
Thank you so much. Webale muna Kiki Swabri Kiss for Kisembo. Webale muno kuntangira, kunyeta, kundaliza na nyowe naija.
Webale kuija.
Webale kusangwa.
We usually call people, but we don't only nagamba takuija. But I'm really honored that you came.
I couldn't fail.
I believe even our viewers will be so proud and happy to see you here. So first things first, these are kind of the interviews that are going to start in the
1900.
Yeah, like that. You have to 1900 and then come to this generation. But Bulikim Chone is about music, but from back then until now. So Akiki being kusabo wanzo oramcheo our viewers.
Abakorora TV, Fort TV, nabakuliriza Fort TV, mbaramkize. Mwebale muno kuhagira Fort TV, kandi inywena abagiho buhagizi through advertisement, through watching, viewing online, na nywena abakubaha comments and feedback which are constructive. Mwebale muno, peace and love to you all, one love.
Okay, so I think you were yearning to hear if he sounds the same way as he sings. And my first question is, we have so many artists mbazina differently with a different voice. Betuno mkuwaza irakalindi. So how do you guys like maintain that voice ya ugamba? Elio ine mu studio nilio kuwaza na hanu ukuwa nawaza na muntu physically.
Now, I kangambe ngu kankwensonga nkaibiri. Eyo kubanza haroho abantu ababaza amaraka gandi kandi obubatoka rundo bazina babazira kalini. Ekyo kiri mu buhangwa bw'abantu abamu. haroho abamu ababaza nkokubazina nkanyowe nkokumbaza nikwonzina iraka lyange tirihinduka kandi ijuka ngo haroho technology runde byoma bya kalimagezi hati ebakozesa mu studio kuhindura amaraka g'abantu auto tune bingi muno actually auto tune emuhali ebyo kandi ijuka haro ekintu ekibakweta artificial intelligence and machine learning
AI.
Ekyo okusobola kutraininga AI kubaza iraka nyowe nkabaza mu iraka lyawo nayo kabaza mu lyange. Nikyo wagambira machine learning, you train it and it learns. So abamu, the way they talk is not the way they are singing because they are using AI. Generative AI kukola ebintu ebi. Kandi abamu kokugambire haroho ebakweta auto-tune. Auto-tune ege bakutekaho kuhindula iraka likasoundinga slightly different. It's a little more electronic and with a layer of artificiality. Ekitali kyobuhangwa mu buhangwa bw'omuntu. So niye ensonga egyo obuhara bali ensonga endeki nkumanya abakorora TV enu bakimanyire basako bakimanyire abarozi ba Fort TV asakuba ensonga zindi obundi omuntu wagenda mu studio asakuba ina flu runda cold kandi bokuba no muhurana abaza kizire he doesn't he or she doesn't sound like the way they were singing ensonga nyingi.
Okay.
Ensonga nyingi.
So ati katugarukeyo mu myaka I think I wasn't born by then, I don't know, but when you guys were doing music, when you were starting music, how was it back then?
Okay, okay, maybe let me give you a very concrete background about me as a person. We used to admire people we would hear on radio. Nkakura with my dad having records in his Veta vinyl, is wateka record player round and round. They are not CDs, but they are black plates. They are vinyl. Mubi manyire. Amavale ga record player. So we would listen to these people singing, and we would enjoy them, and we would wish abamuito we would wish to be like them because nikona kuzire ningonza music. So it shaped me no genda mu school choirs, to sing in school choirs, to sing in church choirs, and once in a while by the way have yoga bands ezikuija ni Stella Mbikaro hatuabaga. But when I came to Fort Portal, I got an opportunity in Katungo Mugisa kugenda ha Wooden Hotel, because Wooden Hotel ya Mande Bwandondo ekabeina music. He likes music. It had musical instruments, and there were some musicians who used to come from Kampala and perform there. So nyoki kampa opportunity to mix and mingle with some of them. And that's where I learned some of these things, instruments, because I started by playing instruments and I would sing, and I got an opportunity.
Woman chokala kazina kazanira wagamba hana ro 7 hana like
karahaka
aka rich man.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, in the car. Yes, because I can deconstruct music, I can listen, I can understand. I can actually separate a song in my mind, and I hear every instrument separately. Kukukura a highway in a lens no remote kanzige. That's how I view the instruments moving in my head. Yeah, it's a gift, and it's also as a result of training and skill that you impart on yourself. Consistently trying to do it, you learn it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned Ingo or Owokeija Fort. So did your music career start here or it started somewhere else?
I think solidly to saying I'm performing musically, it started in Fort Portal.
Okay.
The interest started way back while I was young, because I used to imitate artists who were singing on radio. KBC, Radio Uganda, sometimes VOA, sometimes Deutsche Welle as radio ntinkomayo wamuzimanyire.
I know VOA.
VOA, yeah, that's good. So I had that interest, but solidly for me to start performing, involving myself physically in art, music, ekatandikira Fort Portal.
Okay.
Habokuba Fort Portal kanyorora musically, artistically, and in many other ways.
Okay, so how do you build up your journey in Fort Portal? Kasanga obaha abamwatandikire kukora hamu oba. How did it start in Fort Portal? How was it like?
Hati, something I did that actually led me into music. Yeah. Ekinakoze the first. I joined Ntuha drama performers. Mrs. Kweyara, Florence Kweyara. She's now I think she's retired in the Kabanakora Ministry of Education. A very, very good music teacher, very lovely lady. And Mr. Stephen Kaliba, the former member of parliament here. They had a group that I joined, and I was one of the people who wrote a play called Akati Kenziro. It was a success. It was funded and sponsored by Ministry of Health and the AIDS control program at that time, Kuruwasa Enjiria Omunywerero, HIV AIDS. Yeah, so ebyo nebizina kwera natwegesa, Stephen Kaliba directing, and all these things happening. It was a mix of things. Kitaruge in one line, it was a collection of different vibes as andetire kuba what I am. Because I would embrace whatever I would receive wholeheartedly. I would not let a chance pass me by.
Okay.
Hatia ukiahikire, I used to hear about Wooden Hotel. Mr. Mwande Bandondo has brought a new keyboard from Italy, blah, blah, blah. I would be curious. I remember this story, I've not told it to many people, actually. You know,
It's a special day.
You know, one time, hakabaho mugenzi, mamwitaga Simba. He was a brother to the late Murungi. Aba Simba Ngoma, Fort Portal, Kampala. Yeah, itaga Simba one because he used to play alone. Simba one. I think he arugaga Kwali over Katumba. I think somewhere around there. He was supposed to come and play for guests at lunchtime that he did not perform. Because I used to come and sing with him. He would play, would sing, would perform. And now Mr. Charles Rabhoro Manire. He used to be part of me. They are big men now. I think they wouldn't like to be associated with this. So that day, someone did not turn up to play for guests. I think there was something that was happening around the hotel. I begged Mr. Wandondo, kindly let me play. I don't know whether he was really comfortable with me doing it, but he eventually let me play. I played, man. I played. Okay, and so is Kavamne Kyonta Kubiha. I murdered some notes there. But I played, and that was the start of my playing at Wooden Hotel. I played at Wooden Hotel for some years. Yeah, bands would come, other people would come, would form bands with people, then they would leave. Other big guys would be coming from Congo, Kasese, Wera, come through here. They were going for like a few days or weeks, and then they would leave, like that. So I formed networks of people who were coming and going. And I remember the late Bulegea Mansura Kiki akabawa Kitumba hano. Akaba natera saxophone in Afrigo. Bulegea samuntu ala nange tonjua ego msajja bamwetaga Bulegea Mansura Ki. He found me playing and he advised me to do certain runs, as better runs on the piano, like and backward like that, consistently, repetitively for days. It makes you smarter in terms of your finger, your finger work on the keyboard. He gave me, yeah, even that Simba one man gave me so many other practice runs for patterns of playing. That's how I managed to learn, because those guys were good, man. Those guys were good. They were a different category of musicians. Different. You would sing something and you'd hit a note and say, no, 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 no. Another thing, no, no, no. He would say, no, no, you have not hit the note. When you hit the note, he says, yes, that's correct. And you'd feel I've hit the note. But actually, when you look back, you realize, oh, it was a semitone before I could hit the note. That kind of detail is what made us. And that's why I don't compromise about quality now. Yeah.
Okay. So you've given us a history about the band. Now give us an experience of how life turned out when you recorded your first song.
The first songs that were recorded and went out were the album Baita Martina, Eroho Garuka, Bukire Bukire, Living on Charity, Martina, Kikiwe Kioroho, and a song called Tibingana. That to me was my second album. It was not my first album. The first album I recorded, I lost it.
Computer
There were no computers, there was no internet, there was no mobile phone, there were no these digital TVs, there was nothing like online, no computer. We were using reels. You play one take and that is it.
Hey. I had Cameron akana gamba was it Mama Mia gamba when he was saying oh no, that wasn't part of the song. He was just sound checking and then the other guy was recording and then he went.
Do you know Whitney Houston's song which starts turn it up, turn it up? She was telling the guys to turn up the headphones.
Oh.
So whatever happens mukichumbiro kya music tebabigamba nikyorora bimuli abakazi bayihwira obundi babigwira mukichumbiro nayihaho buchafu nagara nakuleta. So that was not my first album. The first album I recorded it at Wooden Hotel Owabwandondo, in one of the rooms, hotel rooms there.
Who was the producer?
I was doing everything. And that is in
so tulikuwa na producer Kiki Romeo na artist Kiki Romeo at the same time.
Songwriter, arranger, everything.
Yes.
And I recorded in one of the hotel rooms using a cassette recorder. I plugged it onto the music instruments, but I lost those songs. But I redid some of those songs which I could remember into a different vibe, which most abandi tebakabihuraga biri online, but they are the soft songs that you hear sometimes. Those songs, if you check online, they are there, but they are not very known. They are not Kikubo Kit, yeah, those songs. But when I recorded that first album, Abantu Bamanyire ya Martin, and that's Garuka and Ebindi Evyo, that is what made me get known. Forget about being popular, but get known. Forget about getting fame. Forget about getting fame, but to get known. Yes, because we never did songs to take it as about fame and popularity. That was not part of our formula. No. And we were singing things not because people are singing like this and this is what they want to hear. You will do something that you want, so that whoever takes it, you don't know whether they will like it or not. You are singing your own feeling or experience or experiences of other people. So I reached out to one of the late Peter, there's a late Peter who, he was with the Ebonies, found me playing at Wooden Hotel. He said, your songs are very different from the songs we are hearing. Why don't you get money and go to the studio and record those songs? At that time I was preparing to go to university. I was in that Nkaba Mutalitali Uganda University. So somebody in Fort Portal here, I won't mention the name because purely out of respect, these are elderly people, gave me the money. That person gave me part of the money that I was supposed to use for the studio to kickstart me. Ignite
your career.
At that time, I was actually getting known because every time people would come Barugaga Kampala nivaija Howden Hotel, there is like a guy playing there, he can sing blah blah blah. Obundi bambaza ugando hawatamanyire ngu you're talking about me. Because at that time there were no cameras, there's a virovina masimu to know your face. So there was no clear image of who I was. So nagenda Kampala. I had that was after I left university, because it took me a long time to mobilize myself to get into the studio. So in actually I did record Ntakagira University, because when I went at university I already had that music, and that music actually enabled me to go on TV and act in That's Life Mwatu, that weekly serial TV. Na TV sewo kazana.
Reality star TV.
Yes, yeah, I was actually. There are clips of mine on TikTok which people are starting to bring out. Yeah,
I think we shall get some, and Maliki will work on it.
I can show you some of them. Yeah, I think I can get them.
We shall play them for the viewers.
Hati, what happened is I went to a man called Tony Sengo or Afrigo at that time. These were guys who arranged the album Yabana Afrigo, but to say that massive album number 11, I think volume 11, it was a massive, every single song was a hit. So he's the one who helped me. I came already with those songs arranged and what to play exactly, because I had put them on tape. Everything I had played it myself. So he went, but of course as a producer there are things he akabiteko herangi, abiteko vanish. They looked better.
Technical stuff.
Yeah, so when he played that music in the studio, that's the time when this man Elu Wamala was recording Enoye Sacramento, those years, we were in the same studio with that guy. And I think earlier on I had met another one, this popular artist called Kamariza, who sang a song, Humura Rwanda Ziza, Humura na 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 de. But she died in an accident. She was there, small, a tall, lanky girl, dark, and with a guitar. I thought it was a man, but it was a lady. So this guy gets my album, puts it in the compound, he starts playing. He says, naye mwana kiki nkubidde music ono mbadde simukuba ngono style ndala nnyo, namugamba webale nnyo papa Tony Sengo. Yangamba kati omanyi balance muleke tonsasula. I have done something very beautiful. Yeah, the late Tony Sengo, very nice man. So that's how I came out. I started vending my tapes in Hoima, even here. Sanyu Studio, Hanford Poto, nibo babanze kutunda music yange. Andran Brothers, those guys were buying my cassettes and selling them. But I would not get the cash from them. I would go back to the old Kampala. That's where I would get Surgical Sounds. That's where I would get my money from. Then I would go Hoima Masindi, vending them door to door. But there are some people who bought them as businessmen. So my music career has been like that. Maybe Andy Turagibazaho myself, because it's a long journey.
It's a long journey.
Yeah,
okay, so over the whole vending music. And currently, Mwenu generation, something that actually production aren't actually expensive. What is expensive is promotion. What was our vending music door to door? So nija kaguze ekikaguzo kijja kuba kiri bibiri muri kimu.
Okay.
First of all, Obalizeo vending door to door. Was that the only way you guys could promote your music? Secondly, besides bana abagiga batita bejaga kubasasula sente for your music, bajigura akwa kaba nindora abojo bagamba bakasiwukira what baguraga albums and all that.
They were there. There are some Lucine, Kasiwukira, and who else? There were some guys there who were buying around the old park, Howlum Street. That's where it was.
Yeah. So how could you promote and how could you get money out of your music? Though makoraga music by passion.
Okay, actually it's more than two questions. The way I'm seeing it. One, we would sell music. Okay, Abam who had the opportunity. If you, especially the musicians or artists who were from central Uganda, they had people who could market them very easily because of the language factor. And me, I had a disadvantage where I was singing in my language in its pure form, unadulterated. And I had my audience flung on the fringes of the country in Western Uganda. Aurora. So the only way I could do was something prudent by moving the music to where the people were. And that's how I started.
You yourself?
Yes, me myself, before anybody could do it. I would put boxes in taxis. I was still at university at that time. I would put boxes in taxis and travel with the taxis to Masindi and home. And then eventually I got some people who were buying these cassettes. Then they would buy them, and I would tell them where to get them in case they ran out back in Kampala. They would go to Kampala and get them. I would go and sell them, then they would give me cash. There and then. There was no mobile money. I didn't have a bank account. There was not. Bojo, things are easy for guys now.
Yeah, things are very easy.
Yeah, so one, that is two. Then ekindi, the music at that time kugitunda, you had to actually demonstrate the song by playing the entire cassette to the person selling. Or if he was really good and understood what music is, he would play part of the song and then no, that one will work. He would play another song and no, maybe this one may not work. And then they would display them on the racks within the shop and then play the songs on the street, on the verandas of the street, like they used to do at Sanyu Studio and Andran Brothers in Fort Portal here and other locations around Western Uganda. So yeah, I used to sell, like sometimes you'd make losses. Some guy would tell you, come back, I'll give you the money, but there's a person I went back to and the shop was no longer there.
So fere ukatandika ira.
I don't know what happened, but yeah, I don't know what happened, but you know, I never minded about money.
Yeah.
Not because I was rich, no, but money was not the driving factor.
Just wanted to be heard.
Yeah, I wanted my music to be out there. My dream had come true. I had immortalized my voice on cassette.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about the same thing, in the case that you're mentioning, you know, most of these things I'm going to ask you, they will be from your conversations, what you tell me. You said, Bana said Baguraga music, but you could collect the money from Kampala?
Because they would pay.
How could it be done?
Because they would pay the person in Kampala, and I would know. They would tell me, Hati, tuogesezemu cassettes bitanu. These are the boxes. They would call me and show me. Those surgical guys were very sincere people, man. But now I don't think people can be that sincere. They were honest. This is why they made names, and now they even have online TV stations.
In taxis, a lot of them.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry. You make 1 million or something.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that time there were no safety nets. A lot would go, a lot would come in.
So it was purely about someone being honest with you.
Trust.
And trust.
Yes. There was a lot more trust then than now. It's hard to trust people now, especially with money.
Yes, exactly.
It is difficult. Na Yesu bakamugobeza bayrot, it hasn't just started. Omusajja akamutereka ebikoini binga byali mwenda 10.
Yeah.
I don't remember clearly, but someone, the silver coins, and they gave away the man. So this obugobya bukatandika kara.
Okay, so you talked about something called connections, that there were people who could come and find you playing here. Okay, from those people, how do you get to these people also that, okay, maybe never came here, but you found them in Kampala, or some producer from Kampala? How do you get to those people as well?
I had, let me say, when you have one person who knows another, and make sure that you know the other person who knows many other people. It's a trickle-down effect which takes time to build. And remember, those years we would not ask for, give me his number or what, because there were no smartphones.
Yes.
You know?
Even small phones.
There was nothing. Word of mouth. So it took time. It was painstakingly slow, but it built genuine connections rooted in trust, rooted in confidence, and also rooted in respect for your art and ability. And I would say that these connections have lasted, some of them have lasted up till now. Up till now. Some of the people who are alive, I still connect with them. Yeah, because they were there when actually the art industry had something, but not as flooded as now, not as flamboyant as it is now, not as money oriented as it is now, but laid on a foundation of artistic integrity. Yes.
Okay, so before we get into your radio story, how was it like? What was it like back then? Being artist, okay, mkamtalivaingi muno, but having just radio VOT. How could you guys get your music played there? How was life with just one radio in the region, and you have to get your music played there? Can you go with I think we about Congolese were dominating the whole Uganda with their music now,
Yeah,
South
that's
Africa.
true. That's true.
So how could you guys penetrate to the playlists of these people? How could you even get to them? Akuba Sazunu, we have a lot of radios, but even our music being played there we're kind of struggling. But for now we are playing it because now like this show is pure and entirely Western Uganda, which it does 80% of Toro music and Vinyoro. You get. But now, how was it back then? Getting your music played like on radio, on which there were just few.
There were few radios and there weren't as many artists as now. And songs back then abantu bazinaga makuru atali byo kuzina ngumanya
Kaba
ebyo leka ebizina bya abantu Mr. Batakutemana.
my guys.
Then hati you see they would bakwataga ebizina would know which songs to play because I worked on radio. I was among the first people who worked on VOT.
We are getting into that story shortly.
Yeah,
so,
but at that time people would respect certain songs they knew Evakaba Manyira, and also of course there were songs which were never played, I believe, but they were playing what was available on cassettes mostly and on vinyl. Amavaliga record player. Yeah, sometimes on reels. There were songs put on reels. They could use those mediums, and maybe what they call digital audio tapes, the DAT. Later on, Hija CDs, compact discs, Hija mini discs. They were there. They were men at that time. They were experimenting with a lot of different mediums, so they would come in different forms, and they would be available. Yeah, but then again, the science of scheduling music on radio, especially if that music is research-based, is a completely different ball game. Very complicated. But people can just play randomly without thinking the texture of the song, the BPM, the popularity. Is it female? Is it male? All those things have to be put into consideration. What is the demographic setup which likes this song? Negoze wabato, abakazi, older working females, older struggling females, older men who like everything is connected. It's a complicated system. So for the radios, ziri, and they are still stuck with that. But there are people who can go in, they will play what they want, or what the manager wants. Those radios are there. Yeah.
And then I think you guys had clubs back then. Bad.
Of course, those have always been there.
Was also one of them.
It was a bad and extended, and there was a club behind. But I think there were other clubs in Fort Portal here. But bad man, you know what? You know what would happen those years during our student days. But elage bizibya. Obimanyire ebikuswekesa obwiri tandika saa mukaga mutere mpaka 12 you have to go home. This transnight This was a result of the war and instability. You could not walk around at night. So it carried on into those years when this government had just come. Nikionora no bubara wakata obufunda, which they call bufunda, in the vicinity within Akaronda, what Nwanywera Halubaraza, because people had run out of bars. There were people being picked from bars and taken and murdered. So people decided to drink closer to their home. If there is any chaos, they would duck and go. Yeah. So all these things have shaped our society in different ways, and people of nowadays will not understand or appreciate that. This is why even the music that was played at that time had a lot of that infused in it. Sometimes sad songs telling people about life and telling about a story of a woman who did this, but actually trying to tell the listeners that a situation like this and this happened and this is likely to happen like this. There were always hidden messages about.
So were your music also played there?
Where?
In the bars, in the clubs?
At that time? I don't remember, because my songs like whatever.
Was it even a point at that time?
No.
That the music being played there?
The only song I know which could have been played, but again to create a sad mood, is called Garuk. Maybe run and Vazina squeeze mist. You know? But it's not convenient for someone who is trying to connecting, and then you take a mugaro kavik story chimwa. Yeah. Kuma no itava ibu Mr. Leka. No urubata haga kuruga yansoro.
Okay. So you did all that music. So how did you guys form Cats Band?
That's another story. By the way, I was among the people who joined the Cats Band later. Which is strange. Yeah, I saw someone being interviewed. Yagamangu, Cats Band katandikibwa Kiki Romeo, blah blah. I was like, no, that band, Cats Band. Let me put it this way: ekatandikibwa omusajja bakweta William Kamkama, and Cats Band is an acronym of the names I think of his children, and he put that band together because of Johnny Kahwa. Yes, let me put it that too. Yes. I was anywhere near that band. I came later. Later. Hakabam Johnny Kahwa, Prose Kankunda, Robert Kaka, Bernard Munyigwa, then who else?
Yourself.
I came later.
You joined them.
I came later. And how did I join Cats Band? William Kamkama, the owner of Cats Band, was told that there is a certain guy working at Capital Radio called Akiki Romeo, who has songs in Western Uganda which have worked. It would be very good if he can team up with those guys and also add some value to the band. They approached me. I put a lot of things into consideration, and then I decided to join. And that's when I released my first song with a band called Genda Mpora.
Yeah, it was a song. It was a big song.
Yeah. Then I think I did No Parking.
Another anthem as well. That is still trending even right now.
Yeah. Then I did another song, Teka Ketala, but those songs are not known. And I made so many songs somewhere around there, a number of songs. I have the CDs in my home, which I have those songs. Then I did Kankulinde. There's a song called Kankulinde.
Yes, I know. There is even a Mnyoro guy who was, I think, Ridani.
Yeah, that happened.
Manager Mwikiro Mojo.
Yeah, so, and then other songs followed. Then I did, I think, 2 reggae albums, no? 1 reggae album, solid by a British producer. It's only Capital FM which plays those songs in Kampala.
Are they online?
I've not put them online. I have them. I
Can
have
we
many
access them?
songs.
Because we need to play these songs like your entire catalog at least if we could.
I'll give you that stuff if you really want
Thank you.
them.
Thank you.
And actually, I almost brought some CDs, but I don't know how I forgot. I just carry them sometimes for just
We
in
shall
case.
see how to get them.
Yeah. And then I released some traditional songs, and then I've been releasing songs for filmmakers, stuff like that. Soundtracks for advertisement. Even there was a song of mine I did for Mnet at that time, for a certain movie, South African thing, but it had a Ugandan theme in it. I can't remember those things because I was still in my early years trying to dabble into film, but I did not successfully do it until later when I have resumed now. Yeah. So I've been doing all these things behind the scenes.
Okay. Then how do you join radio?
I joined radio after university. That's in 1996. I was invited by the former Omhikirwa of Toro, Mr. Owekitinsa John Katuramu. They told him that engage with Akiki Romeo, he will add value to the radio station, and I joined. Yeah,
Which,
I was
which one
among
was
the
your first radio?
That was VOT. Yeah. Then I went to Mbarara. I worked on Greater African Radio for a few months. Capital Radio did not have an executive, a production executive at that time. They advertised. I got the job, and then I went into production. Produced the Capital Gang for some years. Produced the Desert Island Discs. Did a lot of commercials and adverts. Some of those adverts for Zalake Dube Nigeria Uganda, all those huge promotions. I was part of the team that was doing that. Serious creative team.
Oh, let me ask you something funny. I heard when Lucky Dube akaijana system we but someone lied to us. I don't know if it's true. Ngo akagiteka bakamba kora bajya gukora sound check bamaze connecting amasanyarazi garuga Kampala yona. What was it true?
Let me ask you a question. Omuhanga izima gunyunya esagam. Gunyunya esagam. Omuhanga izima gumanyi?
Yeah,
a
rainbow, yes.
Does it suck water?
No.
So it is a lie. They are lying. Lucky Dube's machines could not switch. How? Is it a whole dam?
Someone who like tukakura to my era nanya nyumiza na biyaga ningamba that guy is bad.
They call it embellishment.
Akaijanu amasayazi gona garuga guys.
No.
Okay.
Those machines that they were using were machines that belonged to people in Uganda. Or they would be borrowed somewhere or rented somewhere. But I remember a guy called there was a guy who used to bring Lucky Dube here. I've forgotten his name. He's a famous businessman. Lucky Dube, the machines would be rented from somewhere, and Lucky Dube would just come with his team and they would perform and go. All they had is their sound engineers. But maybe if power went off, it could have been a technical glitch.
Okay, so how do you see radio back then and now? Because by that time, I want to know about Koraga radio. They were big brands. Big brands. No hura no gamba. Hatu kuno wiraro na karinja kumura kuno wiraro mapapa kuno wiraro ababojo ba Kilifu baha no gamba
Big Brother Booker.
That guy nichamsela na sazi. I want to meet that guy.
He's
So those days, how is radio back then and now? Because right now, yes, we're working in radios, but we can't be as big as you guys. How it used to be back then. That we are not doing right now.
You know radio. FM radio was a new phenomenon in Uganda. It was direct, easily accessible on any device that had a frequency Bagetabata dial. Teri nkakara when omuzeyi omugurusi mungi abagana radio itogikwata obwakuba nagenda kwihamu amanda mutagihuliriza. I'm telling you. But now radio was accessible. There were radios which you could buy from shops, and it was a new phenomenon, and it could play the songs which people wanted. They could tell the stories which people wanted to listen. The amount of akoragam radio, they could create personas. They are behind radio, you can't see their faces. They talk and you create your own mental image. Ekyokura na nyoni mpura hamu, we cannot create the same image. So you always create and yearn to see these people. They come like immortals, like you don't see God, but you feel his presence. I would put it that way. That's how radio was. Then, the radio stations became too many at one point. People started copying each other, copycat, copy and paste programming. So kyafurunguka. Hija radio with internet, now you could see the presenter, and now that killed the whole thing. You are looking at somebody you should actually be listening to. Kirinko omukazi ajwere goma sirunde suuka bakuba na rubata. She leaves a lot for you to imagine. Betoli atire mini garukire kuno mgongo gulia hero mkundi kuno. Buli kimu kichumisire kuno na kuno. You cannot imagine things. Everything is on display. Yeah. I'm telling you, kanile timbalize kubya TV.
No.
Okay, then hija TikTok na bine vindi. Now, citizen journalism has killed mainstream journalism because you wait to process the information, verify sources, and make a genuinely true story. Taina muki. Bihuru. Runde etatokoili. But you kihire kimabana na halaifu bakuoleke vintu.
Actually, before the radio, even the TV does it, it's already in people's phone.
So that is how bad it has become, and that's how good it has become. Every one of these has its advantages. However, abagezi, they are leveraging on this. Like some radio stations are actually using TikTok. They cut clips of an interesting segment, within seconds, and it will go viral.
Yes.
You know? So people who
and
are
it
clever
can make even some people money.
Exactly.
Yes.
So some clever producers and programmers are actually employing very young people to do that because the old people don't want. That's kind of disruptive for them. Nikibatalibaniza, nikibatama kachunda basi. So this is how I'm looking at it as a person.
Okay, so you this is the last thing about the radio. You were an executive producer at
production executive, not executive producer.
Yes. Okay. So how could you guys make shows and presenters
on radio? We would do what they call preps. You sit today, prepare for tomorrow's show. And then in the morning, if for example, if it is tomorrow's breakfast show, you sit in the afternoon, prepare. If you have any bites or sound clips you are going to play, you prepare them. There are people responsible for that. You pre-test them, you see the sound is okay, the context and content are good, so you know. But the producers always knew what is good. But you'd prepare the presenter to know that this is the cue. And they were clever enough and mature to know I'm not correct. Or in case it comes in, they would know how to play around it. I mean, we did it, you have to listen, you don't know what exactly we planned. So whatever they would present would be like something new. It was prepared. Many things were pre-recorded. Yeah. There was a lot of work at that time, but these days...
I've tried for many years to call at Capital, but I've never been picked. And someone told me they pick those calls off air and they record them. Yes.
You could just call when they are on air.
When they say you're going to call in the next when we come out, so you have to call in that break.
You have to call in that break, or sometimes they've called and they've gone through the phone and edited out some things, and then that's why those calls are really succinct. They are tight. Don't you wonder how can someone be so exact all the time?
Yes,
The
yes,
listener.
yes.
Don't you ask yourself what kind of listeners they have?
Yeah.
It is all prepared like a play, like a movie, the way TV does. What you see has gone through sieving and arrangement, even to being in Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's first play you some music and then come back and show.
ati kimanyire kurungi yalisuba ababa kusibire obona bakabataliyo onyasimire orugambo rwino butwa rwitalavu garuka mama garuka mubonezi bwange obuchune tena kwebini na byanyita garuka onye muti 15 onzibule onjune zabule ndimwe yanka ondi gonza kaiwe ndimwe yanka ondi ngalimpo kugonza ngokwawe alifao nensiko kwefireti garuka mubonezi bwange obujune tena kwebini na byanyita garuka onye muti 15 onzikule onjune zaule garuka mubonezi bwange obujune tena kwebini na byanyita garuka onye muti 15 onzikule onjune zaule garuka mama onjune zaule garuka tata onjune zaule kankulinde. Ennaku eno genina mutima n'obubuuda tibuli njuna, ebimoye binyina mutima kaabe musawo talitamba, ngalwala ebiteekerezo n'omubazi gukambula, kakwatibwe iroho lyawe n'amaiso obumundinywa libaho, njuka nkokuwambalizaga mwira kalire birungi, njuka nkokuwansekeraga tulino twawo tulungi, obundi nitubiyirwa obundi nitukungana.
Okay, so that music, that's the music itukakuraho nayo kajikuraho because itona tulivini yake tuliwa generation yemu, but that's the kind of music that I was telling you about. Niyo stories ezimukura nibyone byabere natugambira, but we still have Akik Romeo and he's still telling us the story, painting us a picture of when we are not yet born, and tulimugihura sazi tulinkaba kusoma akatabu sana wetu tukasoma live on 4TV, still Western Connect and channel legendary Akik Romeo. So Akik sazi no yetaga to diving into some of the things that are happening right now. Musically. First off, araiteke bali mukura byaho lya copyright. We are supposed to host some people here kuturabya mu iteka lya copyright, but are kikaguze kinyina moto gwange kinkwekaguza nti inyo bantu inyo back then mwakoraga music, even right now you did music maybe before I was born. But today I'm going to watch you play it or perform it, and I'll be up on my toes. You get? But now these people right now bali mukora music kurabaho within 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 nebe hoirongo. Sazino an artist is pushed releasing a music monthly. Abamba releasing even after a week or two. Like back to back, because the other music can't sustain the industry for so long. So mbene ebintu ebizire saazino bagamba buying catalog. And if you ask me about buying catalog, I'll buy a catalog that will sustain me for 5 years that they say, or we miagetanira ahwa holi mgore catalog, then you're free, you're a muguziro. So do you think this will work for this generation?
Hati ekyokubanza I want to ekinkwenda kugambira to clarify nyowe as a person, ebintu byone bikwatagana ha copyright law and the processes ezibakora bamusazimu timbinaho kumanya kwingi habwokuba first of all tinkasomere bihandike ebyo. Two, I've not been educated by anybody about what is going on. But me as a person nkokumanyire the copyright law and nebakweta neighboring rights tiniku. I think it's neighboring rights if I'm not mistaken. That is not going to involve music alone. It is a deep and complex thing that actually, in my opinion, our artists buying bakwandika na backproducing and many creatives will find it extremely difficult to navigate. It's not a very comfortable place to be, in my opinion. It is only comfortable if you understand that it takes time to accumulate money out of royalties and what they call property, intellectual property rights. Rewards. It's a complicated thing. First of all, this one I may give it as an example, but it should not be something that someone may use. I have heard many complaints, even in Musiza Bajungu, where extremely popular artists have ended up very poor while other people are earning from their songs.
Yeah, exactly.
They end up on the streets on drugs.
Exactly.
For example, haro omukazi ahandikira abantu, people like Whitney Houston, Diana Ross, Celine Dion, Michael Bolton. Those category of musicians, they are old, but those were huge,
Even
solid.
until now.
She wrote
Can
most
sell
of
out stadiums.
Yeah, she wrote most of their songs, and collectively, I don't know if this is true, but collectively, she might be richer than those people. Because she wrote this stuff, and it every day, because they have a system in place that keeps on generating money because the songs are played. It's kind of automatic in Coca-Cola system, how phones deduct your money when you do something. It deducts a percentage, or it adds you something.
Like at a split sheet.
You know the language. Yeah, so some artists are so popular here, but they don't write, they don't produce, they don't direct. They just go behind the microphone. Ask me how much are they going to get? Because usually the person on the microphone ends up getting the list, in my opinion, the way I have seen how other countries are working. Yeah. Honestly, it is a very uncomfortable thing to really look up to or look forward to, and I think, in my opinion, they should train each creative. Buli muntu wena ali involved no kubumba. You might find actually nikitwaramu n'abakoro unaga nakina bine bibumba bya hangude bya craft shops, because that is creativity. It is wide, but because musicians are more prominent, everyone thinks it's only going to benefit or affect musicians and performing artists, but it's beyond that. Imagine there are people who write, there are people who produce, there are people who do mastering. There are session artists who play in the studio.
Their distribution of companies.
Exactly. Everyone has to cut off, and government also needs its cut.
Government also.
Yeah.
UPRS as well. Na inakubao.
So how much money is that going to be? I don't know about it very well. I think it is something I need to read about intensively, and also have a lawyer to explain these things to me, because the language they use in those documents is out of this world.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the sentences they construct when they are writing those documents is a bit legalistic. Yeah.
Okay, so kima binte byo kumalira kiki. When do you last record your last song?
Okay, when you say my last song, because
not your last song, but murundiyo kukasemba ku recording.
Meant for public consumption or meant for some other artistic endeavors? Because the last song I recorded for to release, those were recorded in 2015. Yeah, 2015. One of them is called Ndotaiwe. Another one is called Give Me a Break. And then another one is called Nganyira. Those were the last songs I worked on to release for public consumption. I worked with a producer called David Pragmo Nsaiga, but he's abroad now. He doesn't stay here. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nyonko muntu, I think kukuroro ugarukiremu performing was at Empako Festival. However, I don't know if you were performing Mobo Wiro from the last time you recorded or what. You get. So right now you're performing a lot, because I think from that time Koina Vuluvingi and you're performing. So how did you I mean, why didn't you like perform back then? Had you taken like a break and right now you're so much back into music, or it's me who was not following you?
No, you're correct, because if I was performing, you'd know. I wasn't actually performing, because most times I had genuinely taken a break away from music. I had taken a break away from music. I just wanted to first reset myself.
Okay.
Then eventually I started getting interested into performances by certain individuals inviting me to some big shows like Tugende Muchikadde, Kampala, Tugende Muchikadde, Mbarara. Then there was also a Mpako Festival, Kwegonza Avenue.
Yes.
Then there was which other shows? Those shows which I may term as fairly decent shows. Yeah. And then of course I got people interesting me again, like my manager has been pestering me, please get a TikTok account, blah blah. So I told him okay. Eventually I succumbed. I told him please work on it, and that's why I see I'm on TikTok. It's very new. That's a very young account.
Yeah, I'm following. I follow you.
Yeah, but gladly it is growing. I'm surprised it's growing faster than I ever thought. Frankly,
It is going to get older than.
I like that. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you see performing now and back then when you used to perform Wooden?
Oh, Wooden was performances at Wooden were structured in a way which is not as it is today. I would people would tell you repeat the song. They would pay you to repeat the song even if you repeat it 10 times. Yeah.
Okay.
And you repeat it, but now you can't just easily do it because
Right now we can when the song is nice, for us we say when the song is nice, play it twice. That's what we say nowadays.
even on radio.
Yes, yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
When it's nice, play
You
it twice.
Play it twice.
Wow, that's
And
a nice
when you play it, if they still interested, they say when the song is nice, you play it twice. But that's the third time, like
Thrice.
that. Yes.
Ah,
But
wow.
they say twice.
And when it's 4 times twice.
it's it's still like that. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, but back then we were playing the way we were playing actually because of times and circumstances and things change. Bihinduka hati because of the sets on stage, you have to be strict with time. Then the DJ has to come on with his set. People are used to a specific pattern. You can't drain yourself too much. Ole kama karakugara. Yeah.
Okay. Talking about Mpako Festival, ninyenda kumaking I believe Malik I word short na kiki alimu ngo I want to apologize to one of the MCs that was at that event because I was producing that show. I was managing the stage. There was one of the MC called MC the Kagaba Muisiki akabansabire yangamba Swabri nisaba ninye mbe because there were 2 MCs ninye mbe naleta akiki ha stage. If you do that for me,
when was that?
Mpako Festival, I think it was 2023.
I think so. In July or September?
Yes, July. It was July. Yeah. So yangamba no kwenda kuleta stage, and that will be the moment of her life career.
And you did not allow her?
No, you came wa joininga nanka kahwa on stage.
Oh,
so
I wasn't prompted.
Yeah, you wasn't. But then you asked me that, and I had to do that. But then Mumaisoga Kiki Kagaba nyenda ku apologizing about that. But I believe maybe one day we shall meet on another event na Kiki Aroho, and you will take the honors and you will bless your career.
Can't you see the way we pass?
No, I have I had to do it because
okay.
she never. I didn't get time to explain it to her at that time because I was busy here and there.
You're a good man.
Yeah.
You can apologize to a lady. You are such a good man.
So ladies, take note. Okay, so I kick into Malira. Of course, first of all, nja kukaguza vile vitu nivyo kumalira ekyo kubanza. Are you going back to studio again, or we are going to just feed? Because Maddox akagamba nyo nkazina na mara. I will not do that again because you guys are still consuming my music. So Akiki, should we expect you to go to studio again, or tuzine no parking okalas?
I will go back to the studio.
That's good news.
Yeah.
That's good news for
Yeah.
that's good news for us, your fans. Ekyokumalira. I know you're following a lot, maybe, or you know a lot of artists from here, from Western Uganda, and the entire industry. With your experience, Nyendo balekera akagambo akakuruga muliyo about anything, but about the music.
Okay.
Yes.
Hati, dear lovely artists, performers, producers, songwriters, musicians, session musicians, and all those who are involved in the creative sphere of endeavor in Western Uganda. I want to tell you that each one of you has value as an individual, and each one of you is contributing to the industry as an individual and collectively as a group. One thing I would like to request you to do, or to put into practice, is not to compare yourself to any other person. You are you. If you are called a certain name, the birth name that you are given, or Mpako, that is yours, that's your brand. Don't compare yourself, and don't listen to negative energy. Don't allow it to permeate into your life. It puts you down. A person may be popular today and be unknown tomorrow, and you may be unknown today and tomorrow you are the biggest of them all. So I love you all. I listen to you all the time. I know each one of you has the capacity and ability to make it. Don't compare yourself to anybody, and please do the music you love, not what the audience compels you to play, because people love good things. Even if you try to play and please them, they may reject it, and that leaves you even worse. You're deflated. You don't have a sense of belonging as a person, artistically. But once you play music that you yourself love to do and respect, people will love it. Self-love first, and then you can spread the love. Peace and love.
Okay. So Kiki, wale kuija for TV, and then anytime you are around Footpoto, nisabaga wijano nagira abana bano akagambo, because I think everyone in this industry, not only here in Toro, but I work with a lot of artists from this region. They look up to you.
Thank you.
And you inspired them a lot, and up to now they still follow your music.
Thank you.
And they know you. They know you.
I'm honored. I'm honored, honestly.
Yeah, so hakiki tujja ku bantu mweyongera turafuna chance endi mu maiso kwa kuba pano basejja bakumanya industry nambere bagiye na sazu nambere tuli nubachingwire nyigi tuli muntu zanera musaze no tujja ku bantu mfuna na tuongera nebindi. That was history. Actually, I think quote of history. So tujja ku bantu eyongera muga okuturabaga tumufunire, but for today tujja garukira hano. I'm so honored, and I think I made it in life today. In my career. This has been my dream, and I can't take that for granted. So I'll see you next Sunday. It's been your boy Swabrikis, mbele na Malik in production room, and mbele na Akiki Romeo, the legendary studio today. See you next Sunday. Keep it 4TV. Stay entertained.